Cory is checking out art made of airplane parts.
Yeah, this guy actually, he's on Etsy, right, Cor? He's really cool stuff.
He's all over the place. You can find Captain Lockhart just about every place. We'll let him toot his own horn on where you can track him down. But yeah, Wyldebyrd art, it is amazing. And what you're looking at are pieces of aircraft, decommissioned planes, obviously. And we've got the man himself, Captain Lance Lockhart, with us. Thanks for getting up early and all. Well, let's get right to it. What are you holding in your hand there?
This is a turbine section from, and I've repurposed it into a mirror. So this is something where people like the industrial art. This is an actual aircraft part.
When you say turbine section, what is it? What part?
This would be like a seal in part of an aircraft engine that's been disassembled, and this is no longer serviceable.
Gotcha.
So guys like me come in and do something with it.
Well, it's impressive. Now we're standing in front of a part that I think we all recognize from an aircraft. What plane did this come from?
This is from a Piper. This is a wing desk. So I painted this and distressed it to give it that really vintage look. Something like this can be available online, but this is an actual wing piece. Yeah. You know.
Well, so if you've got a pilot or an airplane lover in your life, this is perfect. Let's take a little stroll around here and give folks an idea of the wide breadth of options here. We've got all kinds of windows here. Well, what aircraft are they from? Check them off there.
This is from a Japan Airlines Boeing 777-300. This airplane, it was less than 20 years old. Wow. And so this plane's still in production, and it retired in San Bernardino, California, and I'm happy to offer them for the collector.
I love it. And wow, how do you come across your parts? You must have obviously you're not out in like a black beanie and a face mask at night taking these of planes. You have connections.
You know, I have a passion for this, and people that see that I have a passion for this reach out to me and say, hey, I have pieces for sale or pieces for trade, and I have a lot of support with the aircraft boneyards, and there's auctions. And so I collect these pieces, and this is sort of my storage area.
Right. Let's go see some of your finished products then.
Yeah.
As we swing on by here, boy, everything from propellers to, as you say, many engine parts. And boy, once you get a hold of this stuff, it really turns out to be quite beautiful.
Well, I'm glad you came, Cory, because I needed to clean this room.
Oh, good.
So, and this is an area where people can walk through and look and see things, how they could be laid out in their own home. So I have vintage propellers, I have mirrors, I have flags. These flags I manufacture. And then the one there in the corner is actually from Boeing 737 aircraft skin. So the stars are airplanes.
Love it.
So I like to repurpose things, and I take my inspiration from my customers, and it's just a lot of fun for me.
This might be one of my favorites here, this highly polished set of windows there. Quickly, where are they from?
That is from an old Northwest Airlines DC-9, but in the history, it was also Eastern and Hughes aircraft.
Oh, boy. I love it. Well, next time we get together, ladies, we're going to find out how all of these parts in here become these beautiful parts that you've just seen here in the showroom, Wyldebyrd. That's WYLDEBYRD, Wyldebyrd Art. We'll find out where you can get all this stuff as well. All that in just a couple of minutes.
Looking forward to it, Cor.
Yeah,
Pretty neat stuff, huh?
Really neat stuff.
Yeah,
wow.
really cool.
AZAM is back.
Welcome back. 8:30 this morning on a Monday.
Yeah, this is a beautiful art that Cory's out looking at this morning with recycled airline parts. I mean, how neat is that?
Yeah, it's so cool. And he's on Etsy.
Yes, and it's a guy.
Yeah, you can find him on Etsy. We're going to see Cory in a quick minute, but first, let's get right to your headlines on this Monday. All right, we have Cory out live this morning.
Yeah, what fun. Hey, Cory.
Good morning, ladies. That's a window from a 727, now a beautiful mirror. This is where it all happens. Wyldebyrd Art. You're going to see how Lance makes it happen coming up in a couple of minutes.
Is back.
Well, how much fun is this? Cory is checking out some art made of airplane parts.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. Hey, Cor.
I know. I love this place. I've been here before to see Lance. He's the pride of Sioux Lookout, Ontario. Yeah, that's right. How many people grew up in Sioux? How many people were in town when you lived there?
About 3,500 people.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, you've got to be the most famous resident of Sioux Lookout, I'm sure. And you've been flying for Southwest for 13 years. Where did you get your first flight?
My first flight, my parents had an aviation business called Lockhart Air Service. And guess what? I started as the carpenter.
Oh, yeah?
And then my first commercial flight was from my parents.
Wow, that is great. Well, you have really turned your love of aviation into a really cool business. And congratulations, this man is in the top 1% of Etsy businesses, which is very impressive. Etsy has exploded, and that's where people can find you most easily, right? You and your products.
Go through wyldebyrd.com or wyldebyrd.com, and then there's a link from that to my Etsy page, which was Wyldebyrd Art, one word.
Let's show people how to spell Wyldebyrd Art, by the way. Yeah, look at these rock. Normally, we'd pull the shirt up because we're Fox, show what's underneath. But we'll just show the shirt for now.
So Wyldebyrd, my kids' names are Lucas Wild and Judah Bird.
Oh,
so
perfect.
That's there. It's a family business.
Very good. Well, it's not all big, huge pieces. We'll see more of those in a moment. But you've got some really fun little bits for folks.
What makes it unique? This is actual aircraft skin. This is FedEx 727, 737. This is a Delta Airlines 747 piece. You can see the
cut right out of the skin of the plane.
Right out of the skin. Virgin Atlantic 747, Delta 75, 76. This is neat. This is the Puerto Rican flag, all made out of aircraft skin. So it doesn't matter what size of skin that I make, whether it's a big piece or a small piece. So this is a piece I made for you.
What?
Out of aircraft skin. You know what that says?
If I had my readers on,
it says Georgia, Louise. Just a little piece for you.
Our little granddaughter, she's just turning 1 this week. You are going to make our daughter, Haley, so happy. Thank you, brother.
You're welcome.
I'm going to put that right there on my finger.
Yeah.
Well, let's step back a second so we can see just quickly how this process goes.
So I'll source materials. This is from a FedEx 727 that's retired. Obviously, it's not on the airplane. That's either part of the E or the F.
Okay,
so
that you see painted on the side.
Yeah, so I take that and I'll strip it down. This is a piece that I've already stripped, but it still needs to be sanded. And then this is a piece where I sanded and polished and put a mirror in.
So beautiful. And who's your typical customer?
Well, the aviation enthusiast. It could be somebody that flew that airplane, or somebody that worked on that airplane, or it could be just somebody who loves aviation.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And hey, Celeste, Renee, it's not all hard metal parts. Look at this.
So people always wanted to do this. What happens when you take the life jacket?
Oh, yeah.
Pull it out of the bag, put it over your head, and do something fun.
Stand by.
Yeah, do something fun.
You better hook me up. I'm very nervous because in the unlikely event of a water landing,
especially in Arizona.
This.
Unless you're over one of our gorgeous lakes.
I think we can get this. Okay, let's just do it like that.
Land in the middle, though.
And
oh man, should I secure mine first or my child?
Well, I think we got. Let's just get ready to.
Well, yours,
are you ready to pull?
I don't know. What's going to happen?
Well, what's going to happen is this is going to make YouTube again, Cory.
Okay. Are you ready?
Pop it, brother.
Yes.
Hold my hand. Or link my
Hold
elbow.
my hand.
Okay, let's go.
3, 2,
All right, 1, 2, 3. Cool.
Look
So
at Cory.
it's this carbon.
Can you
that
breathe,
expands,
Cor?
And it's very cold.
Really, I don't think yours is secured
ready?
very well.
We're down here. we're floating down here. Come get us.
So wish they were in a
Wyldebyrd
body
art.
of water.
Oh my goodness, that face.
We're on Etsy, aren't we?
We're on Etsy. Wyldebyrd Art on Etsy. Thanks for coming, Fox. It's always a pleasure to host you.
Brilliant. Cool.
I feel the same way.
Okay, I think somebody needs to pop it. He doesn't look like he can breathe,
No.
right?
Rescue them.
It's just squeezing
they
too
need
hard.
rescuing.
Wild art, Wyldebyrd art.
Haven't you always wanted to do
It's
that,
so
though?
cool.
Maybe.
I have done it in a live shot.
Oh.
The same thing, and it does actually kind of almost cut off a little bit of circulation.
Wow.
Fun to watch anyway, though.